All right, in this problem, we're going to use the quadratic formula to solve the equation 3x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Now, our quadratic equation must be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 for this to work. Ours is, and we can easily identify a, b, and c. So a is the number in front of x squared, that's 3. b is the number in front of x, that's 6. And c is the number by itself, that's 5. And our quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of the discriminant b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. Okay, so let's substitute in our values. So negative b is negative 6. Then we have plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is 5. And this is all over 2 times a, so 2 times 3. All right, so let's calculate this out. So we get x equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. 4 times 3 is 12, times 5 is 60, so we have 36 minus 60, all over 2 times 3, so 6. Okay, so let's keep going. So we have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 60 is going to be negative 24. And that's over 2 times 3, so over 6. Okay, so let's simplify the square root of negative 24. I can break that apart into the square root of 4 times the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 6. Now the square root of 6 could be broken apart into the square root of 2 times the square root of 3, but those are both irrational numbers, so we can't break that apart any further. The square root of 4, though, is 2. Square root of negative 1 is the imaginary unit I, and then we have the square root of 6. And notice I didn't include the dots. If I write them next to each other, so the dots for multiplication, if I write them next to each other, that indicates multiplication. So our solutions become x equals negative 6 plus or minus 2i square roots of 6 all over 6. Okay, so we can break this apart into negative 6 over 6 plus or minus 2i times the square root of 6 over 6. And that can simplify into x equals negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1 plus or minus. Now, both of these are divisible by 2. Don't make the mistake of dividing the square root of 6 by 6. You can't do that. So it's going to be 1i, or just I, square roots of 6 over 3. Okay, so that's 2 complex solutions. X equals negative 1 minus I, square roots of 6 over 3, and x equals negative 1 plus I, square roots of 6 over 3.